So again, welcome everybody to tonight's webinar entailed the 7 steps to 7 figures, the ultimate real estate marketing plan. My name is Manjeet, and today on this webinar, guys, we're going to be covering quite a bit. So again, I want to be respectful of everybody's time. I'm going to try my best to keep it around an hour, even though there is a lot of content to go over, but I tried to keep it very high value and give you guys some of the best golden nuggets that myself and my clients we've done in our business and our marketing business. And my hope for you guys at the end of this webinar is for you to pick up some golden nuggets and also implement this in your business. So with that, let's get started. So who is this for? There's a few things obviously we want to make it clear. I want to make sure that you guys are on the right call, that I'm also talking to the right people. And so we're going to be going over that. So who is this for? This is for anybody that's a part-time or full-time investor, seasoned or new to the business of real estate and looking to take their business to the next level. This is also for investors who want to increase their lead generation with private marketing. And this is also for investors who are just looking for new and effective ways to find more private deals that are off the market. And obviously, this is probably the biggest thing when I talk to people. This is definitely for investors who are just, sick and tired of really not finding any good deals on the MLS or even through their realtor contacts. And they want to focus more on private marketing and they want to spend 80% of their time on that. So if that sounds like any of you guys, well, that's awesome. You know what? I welcome you, and this is for you. This webinar is for you. So in the next hour, here are some things we're going to cover. I'm going to be showing you how to turn your real estate business into a 6-figure plus a year income, even if that number sounds totally crazy right now. I'm going to also show you how to generate a constant flow of leads and how you can find more motivated homeowners in your local area every single month with consistency and predictability. That is the biggest thing here, is learning how to turn marketing into a lead generation machine. We're also going to be showing you how to just, again, move away from the MLS, the multiple listing service, or realtor.ca, or by calling realtors to find good deals. And just a little disclaimer, not to say that you can't find good deals on the MLS or by phoning realtors, but hands down, the majority of the best deals that you are going to ever find in your business, majority of them are going to be private. And I'm also going to show you which private marketing strategies work in today's marketplace that is going to get your phone ringing consistently, and what has been working for us in the last 18 months that has brought in majority of the leads. And I would say almost up to 90% of the private leads are going to be through these very simple strategies. So basically, everything you need to know so that you can build your business to the 100,000 plus a year level using predictable, repeatable systems instead of guesswork, failure, and constant course correction. So again, house rules here. I want to go over a little bit quickly about this webinar. Again, it's very important to know, a bit about this webinar and who is it for, right? Again, this webinar is not for everybody, but so I want to make that totally clear up front because I value your time. So this is obviously not a get rich quick way of doing business. I mean, if you're looking for some magic pill or anything like that, obviously this is not it. This is also not a do nothing but listen and take no action. And also, this is not a how to fake being an expert in real estate to really grow your business. This is learning the ropes, learning how to successfully build a real estate business using the principles and the strategies I'm going to show you, and how you can use that and implement that in your market. And also, you must have value to bring to homeowners. And I'm going to be showing you how to do that. So keep listening. Again, neither my results or my clients' results that I'm going to be sharing with you are typical. The people that you're going to hear about are hard-working entrepreneurs who put in the effort, and most importantly, they did the work. And again, the results that you get in your business doesn't matter any quote-unquote guru you listen to. The results of any business, especially real estate, is always going to be up to you, right? So let me ask you, does this sound like you? right? Almost every property that you find on the MLS has an offer date, or you want to write an offer, but there are usually multiple offers taking place. And if you already know that that's happening right now, as in most places in Canada because of COVID, it's you'll see that a lot of homes that, especially ones that need renovating, they are going just bonkers on the market, right? Or another thing that you might be posting lawn signs or bandit signs all throughout the city, and you might be doing that strategy right now, and but you're just really just getting calls from the city, letting you telling you to take those down. Or every auction that you have attended has always been highly competitive, and when you got a good house or you found a good house, there's obviously multiple offers on that, right? If you guys relate to anything like this or anything similar, well, keep listening, because I've been in that same place. So have my clients, and we've learned these things that I'm going to be sharing with you, that you can obviously get away from where 90% of real estate investors play. You want to be in that top 10%, and we're going to be talking about that today. Or also that if you see other real estate investors in this industry making big money and you wonder what the heck they are doing, right? And if you're like me, when I started, I was working a lot of hard hours. I was getting burned out. I was doing so many activities. And one thing I'm going to be talking about, it wasn't until that I got focused on my business, but even more, I went meta and I got focused on my niche. It wasn't until then that my business totally changed. And I'm going to be talking a bit about that today. So what is this new model that I'm talking about? Well, you're going to have complete control over which sellers you work with, how you work with them, and the price you can command. Your business is going to become much more simpler after we go into the paid and organic methods of marketing that I'm going to be explaining. And you're going to have a lot of less moving parts. And finally, you're going to have a proven, repeatable business model and a marketing model. And I'm going to show you how to negotiate and get more offers accepted. Hey guys, so as you all know, or some of you might not have met me, but my name is Manjeet Rukra, and obviously one thing I would be asking myself, and you should be asking yourself is, well, why should I be listening to you, right? So let me tell you a bit about myself here. So I've been investing in real estate for about 12 years now, and I started in 2008. Since then, I have been involved in over 120 property acquisitions, including flips, assignments, infill construction, and purchasing residential multifamily. I started my business at the age of 24 in my parents' basement, and up year to date, I have raised over $10 million of capital from lenders and joint venture partners. What I do now is, with the expertise and what I've built up through my knowledge base, and obviously being involved in so many transactions, what I try to do now in my business is help other real estate investors raise money for their deals, generate leads to private sales, and the biggest thing is setting up systems so your business is running on autopilot. And again, I'm not one of those gurus that obviously sings my own praise, and I want to make that clear, right? Just to share with some of the clients that we have worked with in the past, and again, I always say their results are not typical. These are hardworking entrepreneurs who learned my system of real estate investing and got results. So here's Brian James. So in the last 6 months, so within the first 6 months of Brian and his wife Sandra working with us, they picked up 4 renovation projects. Before they started working with me, their business was stalled because they had, like most investors, they had a lack of deals to renovate and sell. And since then, they've bought 4 projects here, and they learned my marketing campaigns, the 8 marketing campaigns, and they learned this, but more importantly, they learned the system of buying, renovating, and selling single family homes for profit. Gabriel Caba is another client of ours. And again, like most people, he was stalled in his business because he couldn't locate any profitable deals on the MLS. And again, where most people are playing. So through our training and some of the marketing strategies that he implemented, he was able to find 2 properties. In the first couple of months of 2020, he used my proven copy that we use for flyer marketing to find private deals. And he was actually able to wholesale these properties while living in a totally different province. Again, he did the work, he learned the steps, and most importantly, took the action. And again, here's another investor here that lives in Edmonton, Ricky Summerfield. He recently just picked up a deal using the copy that we gave him on a condo deal. So Ricky invests in single family cash flowing real estate. And with our phone script that we showed him how to do, that he learned how to negotiate with homeowners right over the phone, he was able to find this property using our copy and our messaging that we share. So, and again, that's just the start of it. In the last 6 years that I have been mentoring others, I have helped dozens of people find, on average, 7 to 10 projects a year, every single year in their business, to renovate, to build, or to buy and hold. Right? That is the really key thing. So, what's this model? Well, we're going to be going into that. So before I go into the meat of this webinar, there are essentially 7 transformations that I'm going to be explaining today that need to happen in your business if you want to play at the 6-figure plus a year level, and more importantly, find deals consistently. Well, step 1, you as a real estate investor must stop being a generalist, and you need to define your mountain. Well, what does that mean? That means essentially, picking something and becoming the best with it. LeBron James, and I always like to talk about basketball because I'm a huge fan, but LeBron James, he's one of the best basketball players ever to hit the court, besides probably Michael Jordan and a lot of others. But LeBron James, he doesn't play basketball one week, and then the next week he's playing soccer or whatever. LeBron's mountain is basketball. He's defined it, he owns it, and he defends it like heck, right? So what do I mean by that? What does that mean for you and your business? Well, what I mean is, don't be a flipper guy or gal one week and then decide you want to be go into the rental niche and then decide you want to get into new home builds, right? People lose respect for those who don't commit to one thing. And again, I'm preaching to the choir here that I used to be like this, and I've worked with many clients in the past that they're doing a bunch of everything, and they're being okay at a bunch of different niches, but again, you can only really be good at one thing and dominate one thing. So what I'm going to be talking about today is how to define your niche in real estate and how to climb that mountain and defend it like hell. Again, it's a lot easier than you think to be in the best at the world or the best in your real estate business or your local area at one thing, but it is impossible to be good at multiple things or multiple niches. Right? And what do I mean by defining that mountain? I have gotten to a place in my business that I have more capital today than deals, because I've learned how to do it. I've learned the system, the approach. I've learned how to talk to investors, whether they're family, friends, or total strangers. And now what I have been doing over the last little bit is when I raise money, I don't take it personally. I give it to our clients. As you can see here from these screenshots, just in the last 6 months, I have personally raised over $1 million of new cash. And again, what is my mountain? My mountain in my own business, my number one skill beside finding deals is raising money, right? I've been able to do that, and I've honestly shut out everything. And that's what I mean. When you are in business, whether it's flipping, building homes, you want to pick one thing and dominate. And I can't stress that enough. Right? Number 2, again, guys, we're going to be going over fast because we only have about an hour here. But one thing you also need to know is you need to know exactly what niche you're in, where you want to dominate, and what neighborhoods of your local area can you find the homes that you are looking for. So whether it's single family homes, I always tell people, if your niche is single family homes, you want to know everything you can about single family homes in your area. Whether you're building them, whether you're flipping them, whether you're renting them, it doesn't matter. So a few things that I like to know when I'm trying to be an expert in one of these niches, and we've done all of this over the years, is you want to know the median price range of homes in your local area So when I say that, your city, but even more, you want to go meta. You want to know the exact area of your city. Well, what's the average sale price in your area? You want to know that, because if you're going to be flipping properties and you're going to be looking for properties, more importantly, you want to know what price range you are comfortable with on an ARV, after repair value, when you're going to be buying it, fixing it, selling it, renting it. Well, what is the average days on market also? In my local city, it's about 33, 34 days. So I know if I'm buying a house and I'm flipping a house, and right now we have 5 homes for sale, I know that I'm not going to start panicking or anything like that, because the average sale price on homes in my area is over 30. Right? If you're in multifamily and that is your niche, well, what sort of multifamily do you want to invest in? But again, more importantly, what sort of multifamily real estate do you want to be looking for? Where do you want to be marketing? Where are these multifamilies? Are you focusing on 2 to 5 units, or are you doing more of a commercial, right? 6 units plus or 5 units plus? Again, where are you going to find these properties, right? Whether you're in the rent to own, right? Does your marketing strategy include finding homes, or does it also include finding and marketing to potential tenant buyers? Again, builder, landlord, wholesaler, flipper, it doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say here is become laser focused on your one thing, right? Your one thing, and what is that going to be for you? Right? Keep that in mind as we're going here. And you might already have a niche picked out. But again, what I want to get across here is don't be jumping back and forth. This is how you're actually going to become better at marketing. Right? Know your target market for the homes you're looking for. The more defined you are in what you are an expert in, the easier it's going to be for you to find those specific types of properties, and also learn to say no to everything that isn't that. And I know that's easier said than done, because again, as entrepreneurs, you just want to do everything, right? You want to do everything, but again, the people that I have seen get the best results, and I can speak for myself and my clients, are the people that are laser focused on their niche. They know exactly where these homes are. They know their demographic. They know how to talk to these homeowners. They know everything they can about this, and they just crush it. Number 3, well, what private marketing strategies can I start implementing immediately? So we're going to be going over that, because there's a lot of different marketing strategies. And I know over time, if you guys have been in real estate long enough, maybe one strategy worked 2 years ago or 5 years ago or even 10 years ago, but it doesn't work so well today. So what I'm going to be sharing today are the strategies that we find that get the highest return on your investment, your dollars, your marketing dollars, what pays the most. And again, we're going to be going over this fairly quickly, but I'm going to be trying to cover as much as we can here. So first, we're going to be talking about organic strategies. And what do I mean by organic? Well, they're free. You don't have to pay for them. And I'm just going to be giving a little bit of tidbits because we've done all of these in our business, and I'm going to be sharing the need to know for these strategies. So one, again, door knocking. And again, you can see all the ones here because we're going to break it down one by one. So the organic marketing strategies. I can tell you hands down, and I'm going to be sharing a lead here. My 2 most profitable deals that I ever found in my business were from door knocking. And door knocking is such a cheap or a free way to find deals, and it's honestly comes down to really picking your desired area, bringing a set of business cards, and if possible, going in pairs of 2, because it's just more personable, I find, when you're approaching people. So again, picking an area and going there. The biggest thing that I can tell you guys about door knocking, and that you guys might be a little bit shy or maybe a little bit more on the introverted side, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you need to know that you are offering an opportunity for people for you to buy their homes, sometimes cash. You're not selling Tupperware, you're not selling vacuums, not that there's anything wrong with that, but you are giving them an opportunity. The best time to go door knocking is obviously, I find, in the evenings and weekends when people are home, usually after dinner time around 7. You want to be consistent in this approach. Why? Because again, people might go door knocking once or twice, or maybe you've done it and then you just haven't done or gone ever again. So if you're doing that, obviously you're not going to get results. With any real estate marketing strategy that I'm going to be talking about today, you want to be consistent. One other way that we've actually generated leads, really good leads in our business, is by referral marketing. And what I mean by that is you want to start networking, or referral marketing is what I call, with two types of professionals. One is lawyers and the other one is mortgage brokers. Why? Because they have access to clients that need to sell their homes in most cases, and your company can be the solution to their clients' problems, right? Divorce lawyers, we have bought properties over the last 10 years working with specific type of lawyers right in our local area, specifically two guys that I get a lot of leads from. And why I work with them is because they know that I, as a cash buyer, can take their clients' homes and take that problem away from them, right? So I can purchase their homes quickly with cash. I can close on their terms. And they work with me because they know that, first off, I'm legitimate. And secondly, these clients, they don't have time sometimes to list on the market and wait for the offer or wait for the home to sell and have a bunch of people walking through. So this is why lawyers, specifically foreclosure and bankruptcy, family lawyers or family law, divorce lawyers, work the best in the referral marketing strategy. Other one, mortgage brokers. And there might be some mortgage brokers on the call here today. So again, working with one or two mortgage brokers, usually one that you have a relationship with, they can give you access to clients that are going through a foreclosure or a pre-foreclosure who can't afford to make the payments anymore, unfortunately, on their mortgage, or they've lost a job, or huge, like what the times we're in right now, COVID, people are losing their jobs. People are on, CERB benefit, but that's going to run out. So again, I see in the next, 12 months, 18 months, there's going to be a lot of foreclosures happening, unfortunately. But if you are in a position, usually in a stronger cash position, if you have investors, this is going to be a great time right now to start networking with mortgage brokers, with bankers, with account managers that you can build reciprocal relationships with. And the other thing that we have found deals and where we have used to find deals is networking, right? Where do you network? Well, everywhere you go, right? And I've heard this from one of my mentors before, but he says you don't go network, you network as you go. This needs to become a natural and a daily occurrence for you. Whether you're on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn, always be networking, be a networking fanatic. If you do that and you're consistent and you're focused again on that one niche, you will find deals. The other thing is social media, right? Using social media to build authority that you are a real estate investor. The more people that see you post about real estate related topics, the more your brand will grow. Keep it consistent. And I'm going to be sharing just a little bit about that just to show you what I mean by that. Let's see here. So this is what I mean. When you're posting, you want to keep it consistent because people need to know that you're in the business of real estate. So you can see here that if you follow me on social media, I post a lot of content related to real estate. Whether I'm buying a home, selling a home, renting a home, picked up an investor, anything like that. People know on my social media without a shadow of a doubt that I work in the business of real estate. Now, you might not be as active as myself, or you might just find it's kind of weird to talk about real estate or your business or yourself. Trust me, I've been there. But again, once you start doing it regularly, you get over the hump. And again, you get into the mindset that you are educating people. You're not just going out and bragging about this or that, but you're sharing with them. There's an educational component to your posts. It makes a huge difference, right? So that is huge, and that's what I mean by that. Let me go back over here. So social media. Another thing, you guys might be wholesalers yourself, but another way that myself, have generated a lot of leads over the last few years, and so my clients have too, have been working with wholesalers. So these people, these wholesalers are found everywhere on Kijiji, on Craigslist, and these are people that have made a business. They've made a business out of finding deals for real estate investors. So the more wholesalers you can find and network with, the more that you can get in their peripheral vision that they think of you first before they think of somebody else. Well, guess what? Leads are going to come in. And as I'm sharing this with you guys, you have to know that it's not always it's not that you want to rely on just one of these marketing campaigns. You want to make sure you're firing off on at least 2 or 3 or 4 of these campaigns and become really good at it. You don't, again, it's not like investing in the stock market. You don't put all your money in one stock, because again, it's not going to produce, or the money is going to go away, or the stock is going to tank. You want to diversify, right? So when I'm talking about these marketing strategies, it's everything is about testing and measuring, right? Your messaging, your copy, your colors of your marketing. So this is what I mean. When you're marketing, you want to pick a few strategies and you want to become good at them. Another one is hand delivery. This is where I have used a lot of people. So when I started about 12 years ago, I actually personally used to go and deliver flyers to homes, and I got deals from them, right? It's a very easy and cost-effective way for your business and marketing material to get it right in front of your ideal homeowner. You can do it yourself if you're at a place that you're just beginning, or money maybe is a little bit more tight, or you can just hire a local kid in your area. And I've done both. Again, whether it's flyers, whether it's post-it notes, whether it's door hangers, this stuff works, and I have made a lot of money from doing these strategies, especially the hand delivery. Again, what I want you guys to keep in mind is you want to do it consistently. And again, on tonight's webinar, I don't have time to go through each one of these, show you my exact copy, the message that I write, the color schemes that I do. Again, that might be on another webinar, but today I'm going to really just show you a high level view that we're going over. So now we're going to move into paid marketing strategies. Now these paid ones, again, there's a cost to it, but they all have worked for my clients and I. One is Facebook ads, right? You might have ran Facebook ads, or you might have not, but what I find that majority of real estate investors I talk to have never ran Facebook ads. And I don't know why. Usually it's because they don't know how, or they aren't aware of it. But there's over 1 billion people on Facebook across the globe, and a lot of those people are right in your local city. And what we have found is hiring a digital marketing company in the past that knows their stuff, and ones that have actually worked with real estate investors like myself who have experience. We have gotten them to create a compelling message, and using the right pixels, and getting our ads in front of homeowners that we are looking for, specific type of people that we are looking for based on our properties that we're looking for. So again, using Facebook ads, we find that it gets a huge return on your investment, and it's going to get your phone ringing. Another way that we've generated leads, and out of all of these, this is probably the number one, has been creating a lead generation website. What do I mean by that? Is just having a lead magnet website. We have 2 here that I wanted to give you guys as an example. We have shebuys.houses.ca, which is my wife's company there that she had running before we met. And we have We Buy Houses Cash Winnipeg. And how you want to use these is you want to list benefits of working with you. If you have testimonials or you've completed projects, add them. And just to show you a little insight of how that actually looks like, let me see if I have it here. So right here. So this is our site here. Again, very simple. You can see the colors, our color scheme. It takes us to the Facebook page. And all it is just something simple. It talks about our business. There's my beautiful wife there. And just, past projects that we've done. So when owners, potential sellers are phoning us, they're able to see that we're legitimate. We've been doing this for a while. And even if you were to go, let's go to Google here. And you go to She Buys Houses Winnipeg, The biggest thing that we've gotten is right now we have a 4.3 star, 7 reviews. Well, guess what? People look at this, and because we have a Google review page, people have clicked on our ads. We've got an email submission to our website, and these lead magnet sites that are super easy to build have brought us tons and tons of leads. Let me go back here. So again, if you guys don't have one, I highly suggest getting one. I suggest getting a Google review page where clients of your past can work with you and get you written testimonials, even contractors that you have worked with, or investors you've worked with, to use this, because again, on a world of the World Wide Web, people will search you the first moment when you call them. They're going to search your name, they're going to search your website to see you're legit. You want to have a website, right? This was a property that we flipped where I live, and again, this property was found through a Canada Post, or we used Canada as a Post precision targeter, which I'm going to talk about. We picked it up for $99,000 privately. We put about 89 grand, so it took a lot of renovations. This big house, it was about 2.5 stories, and we ended up making about 28 grand of profit. What did that letter campaign cost me? It was about $800. I sent out 5,000 letters, which cost me to print it, to send it to Canada Post, $800, and we got a $28,000 return. You can just do the numbers and see what sort of return on investment that is. It is very, very high, by the way, right? A few other paid marketing strategies, like I talked. If you guys are in a good financial position, you guys have cash to spend, again, I would go directly to paid methods. If you're in that position, again, not everybody's like that, but if you are, you know what, Precision Targeter is a tool that we have used many, many times, and so do our clients. And basically what it is, it's an online tool for delivering your flyer or your door hanger or whatever it is, and it allows you to pick the exact area, the price range of the homes. You can actually even narrow down to the income level using their whole online demographic data. You can send out your flyers, your postcards, and the nice thing is here, I don't have to worry about me doing it. I don't have to worry about and wondering if, you know, this kid that I hired down the road did it, right? Canada Post, you know it's getting done because you can see the calls coming in and you can measure this. So again, Precision Targeter is great. What I suggest, if you're doing this strategy, you want to be sending out at least 5,000 letters a month. And again, that is going to cost you some money, you know, usually about $800 to $900, but I guarantee you your phone is going to be ringing off the hook. And again, why I say this is because, again, why I'm telling you this is because it has to be done consistently to get the results in this business, right? Another thing that we've also done in our business that has produced really good results has been by direct mail. Now, what is direct mail? Direct mail is the opposite of sending out a flyer, a generic flyer. So generic flyers that might have just a simple message like, hi, my name is Manjeet, I want to buy your house. Please call me if you're interested. That's a generic flyer. A direct mail flyer is a letter that is actually delivered to a specific homeowner in an area with their name and their address on it. Well, where do you find this information? You can usually find it from your local city's assessment and taxation department. Sometimes this is a paid service, and sometimes you can actually do it right in the comfort of your home, and you just have to pay for every search you do. So again, there is a cost to this, but the return can be huge. So sending them a personalized letter addressed with their name on it can produce results. So again, if you guys haven't done this before, I recommend that you do a little bit of digging, you do some research, because every city and province is different, right? So again, this has really produces high returns, because when these owners are getting your letter and when they open it and it has their name on it, and it just looks like a normal white envelope, maybe handwritten, it's going to produce results, and it has for us in the past. Another one, we don't spend too much time on it. I don't do it as much as we used to, but again, it still works, is lawn signs, right? Something as simple as we buy houses cash, any area, any price. And again, you always want to make sure that you're abiding by your city's laws, right? But I can tell you honestly, this has not produced in the last few years that we've been finding. It might be different where you guys live. I can only speak from our city. But again, this is just something, another tool on your tool belt. And what we've actually recently started doing is we've actually started doing Google AdWords. So basically what a Google AdWord is, most of you guys might know it, but if anytime you're searching a business on Google, you'll see usually these are the first, second, or third, or fourth ads. They're obviously paid ads, but it gets your message and it gets your business in front of people that are on Google. And the nice thing about Google AdWords is you only pay for results. So basically when someone actually clicks on your ad or calls you, that is when you pay. This is phenomenal. Another great tool. And again, while I'm going through this, keep in mind that you want to pick 2 to maybe 3 marketing strategies and dominate in those. You don't need to be doing all of these because again, you want to narrow your focus, right? You want to get good before you move on to anything else. Again, this was another lead that we picked up actually last year, and this was a pocket listing. So again, when I'm talking about referrals, very rarely do we find pocket listings, but again, the more you network, the more people know about your business. They're going to call you before anybody else. And this was a realtor in our city that knew that we do deals, we buy properties cash. I have investors that I work with, and he ended up calling us before anybody else, and we ended up picking up this private property as an exclusive listing. I actually raised the 64 grand from a joint venture partner where they put up the cash and the credit, and we legally own everything 50-50 down the middle. Again, a raising money webinar. If you guys email me after, I actually did one a few months ago where I talked about raising money, joint venture structures, and I'd love to share that with you guys. So number 4, where are we at? Number 4 is qualifying your lead and finding motivation. That is huge. Your phone could be ringing, but if you don't know how to negotiate, you don't know how to talk to homeowners, that lead is going to get wasted. So here I'm going to be talking about some quick things that you guys can keep in mind while you have your phone ringing, you are negotiating, and how to conduct yourself. So what are some things? It's really important to know the things that actually motivate a homeowner to sell their property, usually at a discount to a private source or a private buyer like you. And I've listed a bunch of these, anything from going through a bankruptcy or too much debt or mismanaged rentals, going through a divorce. Any one of these, somebody might be motivated. And I can tell you hands down, any deal that we have ever bought in our business, and so the numerous amounts that our clients have bought, these owners were highly motivated. They had a motivation, and because we provided value to them, which I'm going to be talking to you about, what are some of the values and the concessions you can use, they decided to do business with us. So your first conversation with a homeowner when they call you is the most crucial call and the most crucial time you will ever spend with that homeowner. So one thing before even going into this is you want to make sure that you are working with a couple of realtors that can help you and send you comparables when you are looking at these properties. And I always say a couple because you don't want to be working with 10 or 15. It doesn't work that way in the business. You want to work with 1 or 2 that you can refer business to, you can list your homes with, or etc. Right? It's a win-win relationship when you're working with realtors. They are very, very valuable assets to have on your team. And again, you want to build relationships with them so they can also help you in your business, especially by sending you comparables to look at. And when you have sent out a marketing ad, so let's just say next week you're getting ready to send out your first marketing campaign and you decide to go with Canada Post. Well, one thing I want to let you guys to keep in mind is if you've sent out a marketing campaign like flyer delivery, you need to keep your schedule open. The biggest thing that I've found people fail in, and again, I've learned this firsthand is you might have just sent out a marketing campaign, and then you have like all these social events going on, your calendars book, and then you end up playing phone tag with these homeowners, and literally these calls go to absolute waste. So if you are going to be doing any sort of marketing, you want to make sure your schedule is open. When your phone rings and you start talking to an investor, you want to be calm, you want to be conversational. There is no need to hard close, and I'm the first one here to tell you that it does not work. People are smarter today, especially homeowners, than they've ever been, and they can just pick up on the slightest sense of you that you're trying to rush them, you're trying to hard close them. It is not going to happen, and you're not going to get any offers accepted. So again, you want to be a genuinely nice person to deal with. People conduct business with people that are like them and that they trust. That is the biggest thing. Building rapport as quick as possible. And the rule that I like to go to is you want to spend at least 80% of your time in that meeting building rapport, really just getting them to like you and trust you. And when you feel that, and usually you just see a shift happening at that kitchen table when you're negotiating, that is when you can start talking about numbers. The rule that I like to go with, I've looked at, and I've tracked this, I've looked at literally 100 properties that we have bought and sold privately or on the market. Any deal that was profitable that we purchased, we bought them at 60 cents on the dollar or less. And what does that mean? Basically, if you look at your comparable or your after repair value, and basically your realtor says this house can sell for on the market for 300 grand. A simple formula is you want to basically take 300,000 multiplied by 0.60, which is your 60 cents, and that'll tell you that you do not want to pay more than $180,000. Again, you don't want to go by this rule all the time. This is just a benchmark when you are negotiating, and to do a quick analysis right over the phone to see if this home is worth pursuing or not. And again, I can do a whole webinar just on 60 cents and running the numbers. But again, today we're going to be talking about marketing. Right. Second thing is you want to have your city assessment site open. If you know your marketing and your phone's going to be ringing, you want to know that you can quickly analyze these deals from your private leads right over the phone. And one of the ways when I'm talking to a realtor, when I'm talking to a homeowner, well, because I live in Winnipeg, I know that I can go on the assessment and taxation department. Again, I just put a address here, 410 Home Street. Well, this assessment just gives me an idea of what the city thinks the property is worth. Again, you don't want to be going off these assessments because, again, they're not accurate. Sometimes they're very low, sometimes they're very high. And obviously the city's not going into these homes and telling you, yes, this is exactly what it's worth. But again, it gives you a general idea. It's something that I do to quickly analyze deals over the phone. Again, your negotiation starts right over the phone. The other thing that we like to do is while I'm talking to a homeowner, and again, I don't do it as much as I used to because I have a very good knowledge of what home properties sell for in my area, in the specific neighborhoods that I want. But you want to have an active MLS listings email. So what I mean by that is you want to have a current list of homes that are on the market in your target area, as this will help you determine quickly if a homeowner is asking for a reasonable price on their home or not. And the way that I do that is I always have, usually this email open. And as you can tell, on the MLS, you guys have obviously seen this. You can get a list of properties. So these properties, obviously, the status of them, they're all active right now. So if I'm talking to an owner and they call me in the area of 2D, and so you can just look at 2D here, and these properties are 300, 279, 259, 259, and it's giving me an idea of, again, what properties are going for. And if I'm talking to a homeowner and they voluntarily tell me that they want 150 grand for that house, I pull up the tax assessment. It shows me that it's 200. I look at this quick analysis here of active listings, and they're all over 200, and the owner just told me they want 150. Well, you know that I already know that property has potential. And I'm going to keep digging, pursuing, and what I'm going to do right away is set up a meeting with that owner. right? And when you're collecting this, again, this is a quick desktop analysis while you're talking with the owner. The other thing you want to do is you want to use a CRM, a customer relationship management system. We use Pipedrive to track all of our business, whether the deals that we have on the market, deals that we just got an offer accepted on, investors that we're talking to, and we use a CRM. And again, you don't want to be writing your notes on a piece of paper or in your notepad on your phone, which I've done all of. So I can be the first one to tell you it is not organized. You want to use a Pipedrive system that tracks all your business there. That is huge. So you have a follow-up system for these deals, for these investors, these leads that you are talking with. That is the biggest, using a CRM. So here was another property. So this was a property that we flipped a few years ago, and we actually found it door knocking. And again, sometimes when it's marketing, whether it's door knocking, it's really just being there in the right place at the right time. So this property, we ended up putting it under contract literally the day after. It was on Canada Day, and the owner decided to meet us. He actually had an appointment booked with a realtor to list, a couple hours, that same morning. And, we convinced him to actually meet with us a couple hours earlier. We ended up writing the offer, and he canceled that appointment with the realtor. And you know what? It was a great project. There was a couple of partners that I went in on, but we walked away with 68 grand. So not a bad payday. And again, simple strategy. It cost me nothing to go door knocking, and we had picked up this home, right? So again, I'm going to be showing you properties that we have not just picked up all from one source, but they've been through different marketing campaigns, and obviously learning how to talk to owners even when you're door knocking, right? Number 5, you really need to know when you're marketing and your phone is ringing, why should a homeowner sell to you? You got all this marketing happening, your phone is ringing, but you really need to have a strong conviction about your business, about why an owner needs to deal with you over a realtor and listing it, or over any other investor that is probably right there on the phone. They might have a scheduled meeting with them. You want to make sure that they take your offer, and you need to know why, right? So here are some things that really have helped me in our business, especially our clients, is obviously learning, 1, how to negotiate, and 2, is learning how to use concessions. Learning how to give them benefits and things that will get your offer accepted. The number one reason that I believe that most of our offers have gotten accepted is because we are a cash buyer. Why would an owner want to sell to a cash buyer? I don't need to explain that. Is obviously you can get the home quickly. It doesn't need any appraisals or anything. It's just a quick cash purchase. They don't have to wait like that. The other reason, that people really like dealing with private homeowners, and why our offers have gotten accepted over the years, is we can close quickly. If necessary, I know that I can take possession of their home within a week or 2, or depending, as long as the lawyer gets all their paperwork together. What does that mean for a homeowner? Well, that just means they get their money quicker. Now, if that's important to a homeowner and you are in a cash position, well, you can definitely close, and that's a huge benefit to having an owner sell to you over anybody else. What's another thing? You need to explain to owners that if they are buying, or if you are buying their home, there is absolutely no commission or no GST on the commission, because you're purchasing their home privately without a realtor. The homeowner does not need to pay anyone to sell their home because you approach them. Sometimes, if I feel that we're getting there a little bit in price and I feel they're not totally sold, I look for ways, any sort of way to sweeten the deal. And I've, in the past, if the numbers work, I have paid for people's moving costs. I've paid for their junk removal. I've paid for their unwanted furniture. Heck, I've even paid for their first rent payment if they're moving into a rental, and their first mortgage payment. I've actually had one of our clients in the past, through discussions and negotiating, they found out that childcare childcare expense was a big thing to them. He ended up paying for 2 months of their childcare. So again, this is about being creative, thinking on your feet. You always want to see what is important to the homeowner. What are they looking for? It's not always a cookie cutter approach when you're dealing with owners who call you from your private marketing strategies. What are other things? Lawyer fees. If a homeowner is on the fence and the numbers again make sense to you, offer to pay for their lawyer costs for such a minimal investment, usually around $800 and $1,500. And if it's going to get your deal accepted, do it. Sometimes it's worth doing it, but again, it's always case by case, right? You're going to buy this property as is, where is. Many sellers, you have to know when you're dealing with most of these owners that are motivated, they don't have extra money, right? They don't have extra money to update their home, to clean it up, because usually that's what you have to do when you're listing it on the market. So again, one of the benefits of selling privately, especially to an investor, is you will buy the property in most cases as is, where is, and that is such a relief for owners. You have a flexible possession because you aren't going to be necessarily moving into the property. You can work around the seller's wishes to a possession date. For the most part, usually these owners that we have bought homes from, they want a quick possession, but there's been few times that they actually want a late possession, usually 4 months, 5 months, which is obviously not my number one choice. But again, if the deal is going to get accepted, and I'm going to do it. And usually when I write an offer, I will put, say, August 31st, 2020, or earlier by mutual consent. So if things change for them, we know that we are both in agreement, we can take possession earlier. And one of the biggest things, one of the biggest concessions that I've explained to owners is I explain to them that there's going to be less buyer traffic. One of the reasons that sellers will opt in to sell privately, if they aren't aware of this already, is they don't want hordes of people walking through their home and to have to work around their schedule. This includes getting their kids out, getting their pets out, or having them to go somewhere else. Especially during COVID, this is something that I would really stress when you are dealing with homeowners right now and getting your offers accepted. People, they're panicky, they're paranoid because of COVID. And people know they don't want a bunch of people walking through. So if you can explain that, hey, look, I am willing to work with this. I'm able to negotiate the price and create a number that works for you. Explain that it's a done deal. You don't need to have 10, 15 people, again, selling it on the market. That is one of the benefits to a homeowner selling to you over somebody else, right? Number 6, guys, we're going to be talking about becoming systems focused. If there is one thing that has changed our business over the last, especially the last 6 years, where I've really started learning about different systems, different tools, different softwares that have made my business and life way more simpler, it has been becoming systems focused, right? And I talked about already about one of those systems, which was Pipedrive. Right, so I'm going to be talking about a few other ones, but one thing I want to say about that is whatever you're doing in this business, whether it's the marketing, the raising money, is to get regular wins. You need to be marketing consistently to make sure your pipeline is full of leads, full of appointments, offers, and follow-ups. If you aren't marketing regularly, your business is going to die very, very quickly. So again, I can't stress that enough. It doesn't matter what marketing strategy you're doing, you want to be doing it consistently. And you also want to know your numbers, whether you're renovating a home or you're building a home or whatever. Even when it comes to marketing, you need to have a budget. So set up a regular budget every single month that goes towards your marketing campaigns. And that's going to ensure that you have the funds to market your business consistently, right? Most people who don't budget for marketing, they usually don't do it, right? So it's just like you buying groceries or you investing every month or paying off your mortgage or whatever it is. Everything's usually scheduled in that part. So your marketing is no different, right? Whatever you pay for, you need to track the results. Again, Guys, I have tons of different tools that we use for myself and my clients. Again, in this webinar, I don't have time to go over that. But again, you need to have something where you can track your results. If whatever is tested, whatever is measured, you can beat, right? Again, putting your profits back. When you make a profit on a flip or a wholesale, or you build a home and sell it, you want to make sure that you don't blow all the money on like a shopping spree, or you go on a trip. You want to make sure that you dedicate a certain amount into the marketing machine and make sure that is running consistently. Don't fall for the trap, again, of spending all of your profits somewhere other than your business. Allocate a certain amount of profits every single month. And the other important thing about this is schedule time in advance. That's what I find really works well for me. I use Google Drive. Again, that's another system. Everything is online. You know, whether I'm meeting with one of our clients, or I have a meeting, or sorry, my wife just books me to do a social event. She knows my schedule. She knows my calendar because it's all online on Google Cloud Service. So again, when it comes to marketing, you need to schedule regular times to post ads, to send out mailers, to go door knocking, to put out signs, whatever it is. You need to schedule it in. And again, what I always say is don't deviate, right? The moment you start to make excuses, or, oh yeah, you know, I can go marketing, but I really got to go make this call, or I really got to go do this or that or this, or anything that isn't marketing, well, guess what? You're not going to do it. So again, that is very, very important. And number 7, guys, before I go into this, we're going to just share another one. Again, this was a property that came from our website, She Buys Houses, right? Again, this was a property that my wife found, and owner called us. Again, we used some of those concessions and negotiation tips, and we were able to put this property under contract. We put about just over 50 grand of renos, and within about 4 months, we had the property bought, renovated, and sold on the market, and we walked away with a nice handsome 34K. Again, this came from running my website. And what did that cost me? That cost me about $120 a month to run. So again, that was just one property that we bought that year, right? And we bought more than one property through just this one marketing campaign, which was our website. Right, and number 7, I'm going to be talking about is the biggest change that I've seen in my business over the last 12 years is by investing in mentorship and learning from somebody who has actually done it. So what I mean by that is, when you're investing in business or you're investing in yourself, at the end of the day, you are investing to learn, to become better in your business. And I always love this analogy from one of my mentors. You know, he always says, if you want to go to the Cayman Islands, would you charter a plane and get behind the controls yourself with no training, no map, or no co-pilot? No, I don't think so, right? That would be a recipe for disaster. So then why the heck would you try to charter your own real estate business? Learn the marketing yourself, learn what works, what doesn't work, learn how to raise capital without a mentor or a proven system. Let me tell you guys, over the last 12 years of investing, I've spent somewhere close to about $75,000 on training. I've wasted hundreds and thousands of dollars on bad deals. I've met with over 300 homeowners in our area. I've undersold myself for years and left millions, and I mean millions, on the table by giving up too much equity to my investors, or not selling my homes as much as I thought I could. And I've burned multiple years of my life that I know I will never get back, trying to do this stuff on my own before I actually got a mentor and started learning from somebody who's already done it. And believe me when I say that there is a shortcut and there is an easier way. And it's with mentorship from somebody who actually has a proven system, and more importantly, that has actually done it. So meet Mirwan here. Again, one more important thing is, we've generated tons of leads. We've purchased over 100 properties, but more importantly, we have helped many, many other people. So meet Mirwan here. This is one of our clients in our business here. And when Mirwan started working with me, he was investing in real estate, kind of doing a deal or there, here and there. And in 2019, he bought 2 deals total. The first few months of taking our training in just 2020, he picked up 5 deals. So Mirwan and his business partner are both in our training. He and his partner learned how to scale their business, one with private marketing strategies, and number two, my system of raising 100% of the money to buy any real estate deals. And to year to date, 2020, they are working on their 8th project. They leveraged my program, they leveraged the content that I teach, the tools that I share and I used, my contracts, my resources. They got on my weekly training calls that I do to help people raise money and found deals. And the biggest thing is he took all the guesswork out. Right? He learned from someone who's already done it. And this didn't just save him time, but this saved him money, learning how to do it without himself. Matt is another young student in our program. And when I started working with Matt, he was actually going around trying to get deals done, but he was just having a hard time finding that that really niche market and really learning how to hone in and zero in on a niche. And Matt figured out that he wanted to invest in rental properties. Shortly after working with us, he purchased his 3rd property in 9 months. He bought the last one with none of his own money, and he did this by finding a homeowner through his network and learning how to network who put up seller financing. He put the work and the skills and the knowledge in our program. And the biggest thing, guys, he took action, right? That is the biggest thing. So now you can basically, at this point in the webinar, you have 2 options at this point. One, you can go at it alone and you can spend tens of thousands of dollars figuring this stuff out by yourself, getting frustrated like I did, and wasting 3 to 10 years of her life. Or number 2, you can learn my proven system and learn from somebody who has actually done it. Not has actually done it, but really mastered this part of the business. Now, if you're smart, you're going to go with option 2 and decide to work with me. And here's what I have for you in terms of speed. And again, keep that in mind. So my rough timeline for getting results for my client is these are a few things that we like to work on immediately. So within the first week, I'm going to help you have your niche defined, just like I talked about at the beginning of the webinar. Have your business plan laid out and ready to go to market. Within the second week, we want to have your marketing strategy. And again, picking 1 to 3 of those marketing strategies to start getting exposure for your business so your phone starts ringing ASAP. And within the 3rd and 4th week, my goal for you is to get at least 1 to 2 potential deals to check out. We run the numbers and we write an offer on them. The biggest key and takeaway here, guys, is there is absolutely no guesswork from what I'm going to teach you. You will be getting my full marketing real estate plan, exactly what I just talked about with the organic and the paid methods. But I'm going to share with you my exact copy that I use, my text, my wording that I use, the phone scripts that I've created. So that the ones that my clients and I have used in our business, and I'm going to show you how to use those effectively right in your business, right in your market, so you can get similar results to myself and our clients. And that's just the first month of working with us. So again, if that sounds like you and you want to skyrocket your income and your business to the $100,000 a year level, then let's talk. And what I've done, guys, over the next 5 days, I've actually set a time aside in my calendar to talk to anybody and any one of you to see how I can help. And roughly, we're going to be talking for about 45 minutes. And what it is, it's a discovery call. I'm going to map out an exact plan of action for you to follow so you can hit at $10,000 to $20,000 on average of month of income in your business just this year. And this is probably going to be hands down the most valuable 45 minutes that you're going to be spending on your business this year. So again, who is this for? I'm just going to kind of go back and really explain that this 45-minute call that I'm going to be doing, who is this for? Well, this is for real estate investors, flippers, builders, landlords who are currently in the business and they want to learn how to successfully market to find more private deals. This is also anybody that is full-time or part-time, seasoned or even new, that is looking to totally get off the MLS and start focusing majority of your efforts on private marketing. This is also for real estate investors who want to learn how to effectively negotiate, use concessions, and talk to homeowners to get their offers accepted. And this is also for people that understand that they need to have skin in the game to make this happen and make this a reality in their business. So again, guys, just to go over this here, I have over 60 people, and when I saw the registration today, before I made this webinar, we have about almost 68 people on the call today. And on this webinar, I know over the next 5 days, our schedule can only handle about 8, maybe 10 calls. And what I've done is I've taken this time out aside to talk to you. And I have somebody asking, what's the cost of this call? It's actually absolutely free. So there is no cost to the call to talk to me. What we're going to do is exactly what I said. I'm going to be giving you kind of a game plan, give you an exact roadmap based on the niche that you want to be involved in, and see if I can add some value to you. And again, guys, I usually do not do this, but I highly recommend if you're on this call, you've been in the business for a while, and you feel like you're just stuck. You're not getting traction. You feel like you're spinning your wheels, and there's obviously something that you're doing that is wrong and that is not working. And like that old saying, you don't know what you don't know, right? Until you learn something. This is what this call is for. Again, guys, that is the link to my calendar. Take the time after this call, right away before my schedule does fill up, to book me for a free 45-minute call. And I'd love to share some insight into what it is that we do and how it can absolutely help you in your business. I just want to take this time to thank everybody that took time out of their day to be on this call. I know there was 100 different things. We're in summer, you can be out there socializing, even spending time with your loved ones, but you made a decision to take time out of your day and actually get on the phone or get on the webinar with me and really learn something different. Learn something that's going to help you build your business for you and your family for generations to come. And you know what, I thank you again for that. Usually on a webinar, you guys, I open it up for like a Q&A, but because I'm giving you guys my schedule and I'm literally giving a one-on-one strategy session here, we're not going to be doing the Q&A webinar there tonight. So again, guys, thank you so much for joining me. And again, go on this schedule here, put it in your URL, and book me for a call immediately after this webinar. Thank you very much and have yourself a great evening.